and welcome to this week's Impact review. Now, first I'd like to start by explaining the reason for this. One is for the viewers that saw last week. She was walking along the windowsill behind me, and I can't keep an eye on her and do it at the same time. So she's staying right in the front of the shot, so I can keep an eye on her. Two, since it's okay for the WWE to hold themselves out for the network and completely ignore the pay-per-view that's coming up for them on Sunday, I'm going to haul out my cat in the hopes of new viewers. Thank you. So second order of business is, there's a couple of, there was one comment about this last week. There's a ring in question that was being resized, which is why I didn't wear it. And now we're 50 seconds into this review and we haven't discussed anything to do with why we're here. So let's get on with business. Impact started off with Kurt Angle somewhere in the arena. I don't fucking know. He was out there in the crowd and he unveiled the six-sided ring. Simple, short, stupid, let's move on. Next we get a Taz promo, which was okay, as it's okay, and it got a few ECW chants, to which I have to say, hello, 2001's calling ECW's dead. Let it go. Right, moving on. Your opening proper segment is Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer coming out. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna put Dixie through a table. Put Dixie through a table. Put Dixie through a table. The same shtick that Bully Ray's been saying for the last week. Dreamer says to the guys on the back that are ready to get the balls to the wall. Well, in case of most of the talent roster, yeah, but I don't think the knockouts can get balls to the wall due to the fact they don't really have balls. Then you get EC3 and Rhino come out. There's a "You Can't Wrestle" chant directed at EC3, which EC3 does his usual stick of "I disagree." And if I'm going to compare him in my honest opinion to, say, Tommy Dreamer, he's a better wrestler than Tommy Dreamer. But, nah, I'm going to get some flack from all the fucking old ECW. Ooh, that garbage. Tommy Dreamer can't wrestle unless there's weapons. And even then, it's still shit. Alright, the segment breaks out into a brawl, etc, etc, and leads into your first match of the night, which is Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray vs C3 and Rhino. In a decent match, but no, it was decent. There was a spot with Spud running around the ring being chased by Bully Ray, which was funny. I've never seen anyone in an orange suit, Rod. But then we'll get the finish of the match, which is Spud distracting Dreamer, and EC3 gets the pin by roll-up. End of match, EC3 and Rhino win. Your next segment is MVP and Jeff Hardy. Well, MVP's crew and Jeff Hardy arriving at the arena earlier in the day. Yeah, that was thrilling. Then you get a Angle and Aries segment where Angle says that Aries is going to be in an 8-man gauntlet match for the X Division title, and as an added bonus, Aries is going to be entering number 1. Alright, and that match is next. So get a Storm and Sonata segment with Storm saying that if he keeps listening to the Great Muta, all he's going to end up being is a loser and a choke artist. And onto the match. They started out with Austin Aries and Eddie Edwards, which, yeah, I'm going to take a guess that at this point of the show, the internet was circle jerking over the thought of Austin Aries and Eddie Edwards. And then Manic enters, a few spots, yada 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 yada. There's also a good neck breaker by Manic. I have to give it that credit. It was quick and it was good. Then David Richards enters, and at this point of the match, even though I read the spoilers like a month ago, I was thinking, what if this comes down to the Wolves facing each other? Or what if at some point in the future the Wolves do face each other? That's guaranteed to get the internet circle jerking. Again. Then we get, Also in this match, TNA mentions ECW a couple of times, and again, ECW is dead, let it go. Try to establish your own identity. That is a problem that TNA has. Let the old things go and establish yourself as TNA. Moving back to the six-sided ring is a good move, as long as you do not keep holding on to ECW. ECW went out of business due to piss poor management with money. You can say what you like about Paul Heyman, just don't let him near the cash. Okay? He goes near the cash, you're fucked. Anyway, back to the match. Then you get DJ Z entering, and thank God, shortly after we got our first elimination, which was DJ Z, to my delight. And then you get some point during the adverts. Also, Manic got eliminated with DJ Z because DJ Z got eliminated by Manic, and Manic threw himself over the top rope in the process. You get Crazy Steve and Tigre Uno entering during an advert, which, how the fuck can you have an advert that goes longer than 90 seconds? Someone tell me that. I don't really get that one, but we'll move on. Then you get Sonata entering, and Tigre Uno is eliminated by Crazy Steve, who in turn is eliminated by the Wolves. So your final four is Aries, who's been pretty much invisible, but part of this match, the Wolves, and Sonata. Sonata then proceeds to eliminate both of the Wolves, and then you come down to your final part of the match between Austin Aries and Sonata in what basically is a singles match. And I have to say, I like the concept that TNA has for these gauntlet matches. It starts off with a battle royal premise of throw them over the top rope. Then when you reach your final two, it comes down to just normal pinfalls and submissions, which I actually do think, and I shouldn't really be mentioning this one during the TNA review, but I think this format would be better suited to the Royal Rumble. Instead of the throw 29 guys over the top rope, you win, you're going on to the big show of the year, and maybe winning the championship. It's a good concept and I like it. Kind of like that steel cage ladder match that they had at the end of last year. It's an interesting concept, and depending on who you put in the match and how you book the match, it can look good. It's not like, say, someone giving birth to a hand. Throw that in there due to a video I saw earlier in the week, which some of the people on my Facebook will know what I thought of that. Sonata misses a moonsault. Aries hits a couple of discus clotheslines and a running dropkick in the corner, and then a brainbuster for the win, and retains the X Division Championship. Moving on. You get Rude and EY talking about teaming together again. I'm not sure if we've teamed together in the past with TNA since I only started watching consistently around 2010. My reasons for that were clear, but yeah, most TNA I used to watch was just little segments on YouTube, and then I started watching more consistently around the time Flair showed up. They talk about facing MVP and Kenny King. Next set, then it cuts to Storm beating up Sonata backstage because he lost and calling him a loser. I have got to say, I like James Storm like this. So you can say what you like about James Storm, but as a face he sucked, and as a heel he's kind of getting there. And he's trying to steal my show again this week. Yeah, trying to steal it. There you go, look at them, look at them. Yeah, what do they say, Jodie? What do they say? Watch this review! Subscribe! Watch more! Alright, moving on. Yeah, I'm kind of... and don't like the fact that I don't really have the editing facilities. But then we cut to Dixie arriving and then Jeff Hardy's segment where it says that Willow was created to combat the dark sides of TNA, yada yada yada, and that Kurt Angle was the one that convinced him to become Jeff Hardy again. And moving on to the MVP Kenny King versus Robert Roode EY match, which starts off with a segment of Kenny King saying that he could beat Roode and EY on his own. I doubt it. MVP was on crutches, and MVP said that basically was wrestling under protest, which led to some funny commentary remarks at the beginning of the match from both Taz and TNA. As much as I don't like either of them, I got to admit it's got a laugh at me because Taz said that every match he lost he was wrestling under protest, and TNA really quickly just came back with, and most of the time it seems like you announce under protest. Now I'm not calling for, I don't really advocate firing people, but I would like to see TNA and Taz replaced, preferably with Scott Steiner and Sid. Okay, replace them with Scott Steiner and Sid, live microphones, and let them say whatever the hell they want. And maybe let Sid jump off the second rope. Book it. Somebody book that. Alright, the match was, it was okay. Nothing spectacular happened, and the end of the match was basically MVP gets disqualified for using the crutches. Roode and EY win by DQ, and then after the match, MVP and King beat down Roode and EY with the crutches. End of segment. Then you get a knockouts match, which to be honest, I didn't watch. Oh, we're kidding, I watched the knockouts. I'm not going to miss two women fighting each other in pretty much what could be classed as underwear. I'm not going to miss that. But I do have to say one thing about this. The beginning of the match troubled me with the commentary because TNA and Taz seemed more interested in bickering with each other than they did in the match. That kind of stopped around the 1 minute mark, but there's a match going on, comment on the match. If you're going to piss and moan about each other, don't do it during a match. Do it during a pointless segment. Do it when you're off the air. Do it when there's an ad break. As much fun as that was. I also do have to say one more thing about this knockouts match, since it was no DQ. Grab a chair. Grab the ring bell. I don't know if the knockouts are capable of lifting the ring steps, but if you can, pick up the ring steps. Grab a sledgehammer. Grab a pair of pliers. It's no DQ. You know, you just wasted fucking no DQ stipulation. You might as well just have a normal fucking match. Alright, moving on. Dixie segment. Oh yeah, Madison won with a package DDT apparently. I don't know what that move is, but TNA called it package DDT, so I'll fly with that for now. Until we get an official name for it. Dixie segment, I don't care about. There's also an Angle and Aries segment, teasing option C. Also, from the looks of it, teasing a match between Angle and Aries, but since Angle's contract is up September 21st, I don't think we'll see it at Bound for Glory. Well, if we do see it before Angle's contract's up, then thank you. I do want to see that match. I also would like to mention an advert that made me laugh. Now, I don't know if the people will watch it on Challenge on Sunday, because I'm in the UK. Okay, so I can get to watch it on Challenge, which is pretty much free TV. So I might as well watch it Friday morning, or it's being uploaded, because it makes no fucking difference really. And actually, sometimes I actually do still watch it on Sunday or the Tuesday on Challenge, or I record it for later viewing. If it's a really bad show, I will record it just so that it's there. I know it's not going to go anywhere, and I can just have a good laugh. But there was one funny thing, and it was a funny advert. TNA World Tour in Kentucky. Yeah, World Tour in Kentucky. Your company is based in Nashville, Tennessee, in America. Most of your shows, with the exception of Bound for Glory this year, which is in Japan, which is something I'll be doing a video on at some point between now and Bound for Glory, and the few shows that you do a year in England, in the UK, most of your shows are in America, but the majority of them are done in Orlando, Florida. Going to Louisville, Kentucky does not constitute a world tour, it is domestic. If you went to Canada or Mexico, I would accept you calling it a world tour. It's not a world tour, it's a domestic tour. It's not even a fucking tour. You're just going and doing 2 shows in Kentucky. Not a tour. A couple of live events, lads. Come on. Someone needs to be fired from TNA's advertising department. Preferably Dixie. Alright, then we move on to the main event of the night. Well, main event match. Unfortunately, there's one more segment after this. Ugh. It's pretty painful now, because I know what's coming. Not watching it. I didn't know. I actually did think the main event was going to go for 20 minutes and close out the show. I didn't think the final segment was going to happen. So it's getting painful now during the review as I'm going over it. Hardy and Lashley for the world title, solid match. Lashley kicks out to the Swanton. Jeff goes for another Swanton, this time with Lashley bent over the steel steps, and Lashley moves. And that looked painful. That looked really painful. And enjoyable for me. I like watching people get hurt. Doing stupid things like jumping off the top rope out to the ring when you know the guy is going to move. Lashley rolls Jeff back in the ring, hits him with a spear, yada yada. End of matches for the night. Lashley retains the world title, thank you, and that's another thing I will do a video on. Bobby Lashley having the world title, well, not specifically Bobby Lashley, but people of Bobby Lashley's race in, well, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be a touchy subject, and I'm actually kind of expecting hate mail from that video. I'm also expecting hate mail for this as well. Especially I'm going to after this fucking final segment. Especially from the Dixie crowd. Jesus Christ, you get a Dixie segment to close out the show. After you get Angle making a match between MVP and Bobby Roode. Balls count anywhere, telegraphing a clusterfuck. That's what you're doing next week, lads. You're telegraphing the clusterfuck. Enjoy it. I may tune out of that match. The final segment is Dixie, and I'm going to say at this point, I don't care. 5 minutes later, Dixie's still talking. I still don't care. Then Bully Ray comes out with Tommy Dreamer and a table with Dixie's name on it, and I'm trying to find the fuck I'm meant to give. I'm trying. I'm really trying here, lads. Come on. breaks down into a brawl with Bully Ray and Dreamer clear the ring of Rhino and EC3. Spud tries to get in the way but gets choked. Then Dreamer lifts Dixie up for Bully to powerbomb her off the top rope through a table. EC3 hits Dreamer with a low blow, makes a save for Dixie. Dixie escapes with Rhino and Spud. EC3 ends up on the ramp. Really? You can't even choreograph your fucking escapes. Jesus Christ. Now, if I'm making the save and running through the crowd, I'm making sure I'm sticking with the people that I'm meant to be with. I'm not heading up for the ramp. Anyway, Devon comes out, we're in fucking New York, so we have to have the fucking Dudleys. We also have to have the Dudleys doing the fucking headbutt shtick and then put EC3 through a table with the 3D. No comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. Now I think I'll get enough hate mail already. The segment was stupid. The segment was stupid. The segment was stupid. It was simple, long and stupid. Generally you want to keep things simple, short and stupid. Alright, well that was the end of the show, and I have to say it was a decent show. It kept me entertained, and it was a decent show with the Dixie segment, great show without it. At this point I'm regretting that I don't have the editing facilities for some of the stuff, but what can I do? And for once, I actually do have to say something about the venue, because for once it's a big thing. The bigger venue really did help build a better atmosphere, and for once it had better production values than these reviews. Take from that what you will. I also, being not a very interior designer kind of thing, I'm not into interior design, but the ceiling, I loved it. I loved the ceiling of the Manhattan Center. When whoever designed that needs a big paycheck. Also, I really do think moving forward for TNA, they should move out to the Impact Zone and try to rent the Manhattan Center for every week, do the shows live, and just go from there. Because the size of the venue, plus you're in New York, okay, you're definitely going to get a decent sized crowd, and B, a loud crowd. Okay, this isn't going to be like going back to the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, where the crowd's pretty dead. Apologies for having to take a drink. Really unprofessional, but also there's also going to be a video for Bound for Glory, as I may have already mentioned in this review, and I may be looking at doing a couple of editorials over the weekend. I'm not too sure, depends what I've got time for, because normally, well, this is one of the weekends where there's a lot of other sporting things going on, and I'm kind of focused on them. Because I'm also, as you can probably tell, I'm a big F1 fan. I'm also a football fan. I follow a couple of teams in Iceland. I follow a couple of teams here in England, and I also follow a Spanish team, and I like to keep up to date on what they're doing. There's also F1, as I've mentioned, this weekend, live from the Nürburgring. No, crap. I really should be ashamed for that one. It's because I'm currently only just playing F1 2013, and I'm used to Germany being the Nürburgring at the moment, but it's live from Hockenheim. It's a good save. This is why I wish I had the editing facilities, because then I could just cover my fuck ups. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, and I will see you next week for the Impact review. And as I said, there may be editorials over the weekend, depending on what I get time to do, what freedoms I get over this weekend. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you all next week in YouTube land.